So here we start. I am just going to preface this podcast with, this is my passion. Like, this is my, oh my gosh, I love this part of my life situation. I am so in love with the mortgage industry. I just love it. It's so cool because it's like the whole theory of, oh, enjoy what you do for a living and you'll never work another day in your life, whatever that motto is. And oh boy, there's some days that are hard and there's some days that I just want to pull my hair out. But anyways, just real quick, I wanted to go through how I got where I'm at, how I got here from where I came from. And, where we go from here. So I'm telling you, our next step is to prepare to buy a home. I want to tell you a little bit about my background and why I'm so passionate about what I do. And then I'm just going to give you a little blurb of where's your first step. And then we are just going to hit the ground running over the next few weeks, getting you all lined out, ready to go. So when I was about 14 and a half, my brother-in-law had started a mortgage company and he actually needed a little bit of clerical help with his office. And so he asked if I would be willing to come in and do some clerical things. And my job was to copy papers. I was the coolest copy paper person in the whole wide world because I could totally manhandle a copy machine. Like, I was the best copy machine person around. No kidding. If there was a paper jam, I could fix it. I was like golden queen of this copy machine. In case you wanted to know, that's one skill set that I probably don't really have anymore. But anyways, side note. So I was hired to come in and copy papers, get them packaged up and get them sent off to the investor for review. And so I sat and watched copies go through a copy machine. And pretty soon I realized, there's something here. I need to be paying attention to what's going on. And so I started watching what the documents were and saw titles of things, credit reports, bank statements, divorce decrees, tax returns, and all that stuff. And I thought, you know what? I need to figure out what all this is. Why do I care about it? What can I learn from it? And so I started asking questions. Little by little, I learned more, got more responsibilities. And then as time went on, I was actually originating and closing mortgage loans myself. And I was very young. I was not even 18 when I closed my first home loan. And that is definitely a different time. We have a different time these days right now with licensing and all that, which is a good thing. Anyways, so neither here nor there. Fast forward a handful of years, my brother-in-law decides to step out of the mortgage industry and he gives me the opportunity to take over the company. And so I did. In 2011, I actually took over and this is where I'm at. So I have started at the ground level. I started where you all are. I had no idea what a credit report was. I wanted to become something more. I wanted to learn more. And I just jumped in and put both feet down and thought, I'm going to make this a go. I'm going to understand. I'm going to become the best that I can be in this field. So with that being said, I understand when people come into my office and they are scared to death, they have anxiety, they want to just cry. And I have such compassion for those people because I had no clue what I was doing. And I got an A-, I think, in School of Hard Knocks, actually probably a C+. I don't know. I have never gone to school, but oh boy, have I had some major tests that I have failed and also succeeded at. So really that's a little bit about me. I started in the trenches when I was 14 and a half years old, had no clue what a credit report is. And now I feel like I have become kind of an expert. There's something always to learn in the world, but I feel like I'm a pretty good expert here. So where do we start? That's the big thing. Where do we start? How do we move forward? And the first place to start is your application. And that is so overwhelming for people, which I just don't want it to be that way. It's your basic information. If you know your name and you know your date of birth, you've mastered two of the major questions that we've got to have. So I think you're okay. Now, the next thing is going to be your social security number. If you don't have that memorized, I advise you to get that memorized. I'm also going to tell you this. If that social security card with your social security number is sitting in your purse or your wallet, go get it and you put it in a safe place. That thing is not to be carried around with you. So you have just been reprimanded. Get that thing out of your possession and get it somewhere safe because you should not have that just floating around in your hands. Somebody steals your purse and they have your social security card and your identification, guys, not a good idea. So there's your little side blurb there. So your name, date of birth, social security number, that's your basic information that we've got to have and make sure it's right. Where do you live and where have you lived for the last 2 years? You've got to know that. Who have you worked for and who have you worked for the last 2 years? You've got to know that. From there, it's pretty easy. You're answering questions as to whether or not you're a U.S. citizen. Do you pay child support? Do you have children? And I'm hoping deep down with all of the beautiful pieces of my black heart, I hope you know the questions that are asked of you. Now, there's a couple that we don't really care as much about. Like, okay, who do you bank with? ABC Bank. How much money do you have in your account? Okay, I don't need to know what the amount of pennies you have in there. Average, I keep a couple $100, or on average, I keep a couple thousand. Fantastic. So the basic application is super, super easy. It really is. Don't overthink it. But here's a little caveat. Remember this. Whatever you put on that application, we have to be able to verify. So if you put on the application, I work at McDonald's and I make $17,000 a month, I'm going to have to verify you make that kind of money. So just realize whatever's on that application, I'm going to have to verify it's true and accurate. Same thing with assets. If you put that you have $10,000 in your bank because you think that's going to help you get pre-qualified, I have to verify you have $10,000 in the bank. And I also have to verify that that $10,000 is money that you truly can have. And I'm going to get into each one of these steps just a little bit deeper, but I wanted to really just nail down the application piece. Don't be overwhelmed with this. It's your basic information about yourself. Do not have that Social Security card in your purse or your wallet. And if you do, slap yourself in the face and say, stupid me, I shouldn't do that. I need to protect this thing like it's my firstborn child. Go get that Social Security card and you shove that somewhere safe. Do not forget where you put it because you've got to have it. And just be prepared to get that application put in with that Social Security number in your mind. Memorize it, memorize it, memorize it. So right now I'm going to end here. The application process, super easy. That's where we're going to start. And it's just your basic information, your name, your date of birth, Social Security number, where you work, where you live, and just those basic things. So let's get ready to buy a house. I'm so excited. You guys, I hope that you can feel the energy in my voice because we've established credit. We know where we're headed. We've got ourselves a little bit of a budget lined out. Let's get a house figured out. I am just so excited for us to be able to go out there, be adults, and not be afraid.